Hey Sharks, I'm Zach.
And I'm Steven.
And we're seeking $300,000 for 7.5% stake in our company, Rigstrips.
Sharks, we both love to ski. We've been doing it since we've been kids, and I'm usually the one driving us to the mountain.
After a great day of skiing, we're tired, and all we want to do is get in the car and drive home. Typically, you're getting back to your car, you have your skis in one hand and poles in the other. But wait, I gotta unlock the car door real quick. I have to lean these somewhere.
Whoa, Zach, come on again. You always lean those sharp edges against my car and let them crash to the ground, leaving behind a huge scratch. Well, Sharks, we knew there had to be a better way, and that's why we created Snowstrip.
No more scratching your paint with ski or snowboard edges, and no more throwing your skis or snowboards on the ground.
Our Snowstrip has a patented design that applies magnetically to the outside of your vehicle, so you can lean your skis or snowboard worry-free.
Now, let's fast forward to the summertime. We've got you covered on those fishing trips with the Sunstrip. No more scratches to your paint from your expensive falling rods, and no more snapping them and closing doors or tailgates.
Sharks, we've saved a ton of outdoor gear and vehicles from getting scratched, but we need your help bringing our innovative products to more customers.
So who's ready to hop on board for the ride of a lifetime as we make every adventure stress-free, one epic day outside at a time?
Well, there you go. Welcome back to another Shark Tank Breakdown episode. I am your host, Dave, a 10-year intellectual property attorney dealing with everything from copyrights, trademarks, trade secrets, and I love when people say the magic word, patents. Now, this one is actually interesting, and I'm not sure if you guys caught this. Like I said, I deal with this stuff 10, 12 hours a day, every day. So I pick up on things that the average person probably doesn't pick up on. And what he said was he has a design patent. He has a patented design is, I think, the exact terminology he used. And what that means to me is he doesn't have a utility patent, where the utility patent kind of protects the utility of it, where design patents protect the actual design of it. Now, the difference between the utility patent and a design patent, just to kind of break it down for you guys, the utility patent lasts 20 years, design patent lasts 15 years. And as he was kind of going through this thing, I'm like, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get a patent on essentially a device that has some slots in it. But again, you're just because you can't get a utility patent on it, that doesn't mean that you won't be able to get a patent design on design patent on it. It seems like they have a design patent. We will take a look at the website at the end of this video and see if they have that design patent number on the website. I love for you to put these things on a website and put people on notice that, hey, you are protecting your intellectual property, and the fact that they have this thing is great. Now, I guess taking a step back, the three things that I typically look for in kind of trying to determine whether or not a company is going to probably make a lot of money or maybe kind of not make a ton of money, but just kind of put along is how simple is the product. Seems like this one is pretty simple. It's essentially a tool with a magnet on it that you apply to your car. How effective is it? We typically see the effectiveness in terms of sales as well as the reviews. So I would imagine that they get off into sales here during the pitch. So we'll be able to see how effective is the product. And then what's the market? Now, obviously, skiing is one of those things. If you're in Colorado or in some states, skiing is a big thing, whereas in other states, skiing is maybe non-existent. I know here in Michigan, it can be more of a kind of seasonal thing. I would imagine in Colorado is all year round thing. You're probably not going to see people skiing in the South, whether it's Florida, Alabama, Texas. So it's one of those seasonal products for me that I do think it is a market for, but I think it's a kind of not, the market is not as plentiful as maybe in some states as others. And then also whether or not, I don't think you have, and obviously we know the things that you put on the top of the vehicle to put your skis and snowboards and things like that. But when you're trying to open a door or whatnot, I don't see those type of devices that are kind of put on other body panels of the vehicle. And I'm not sure would I want this thing on my body panel of my vehicle. I mean, I'm cool putting this thing on a rooftop. You got the brackets, you have, just kind of the different tools or the structure to be able to kind of handle these skis and snowboards. Do I want this magnet piece on kind of plug and unplug, kind of taking it and removing it or putting it on and removing it from my door or a body panel? It seems like, I know we talked about the scratches and them trying to prevent the skis or the snowboard from scratching the vehicle and falling to the ground. But I think over time, it seems like this thing got to kind of dent up the vehicle or kind of leave marks and things like that as well. So I'm not sure how I feel. Maybe you guys are disagreeing with me to the extent that you've used one of these things. Comment on your use in the comment section. But do you think that this particular device with this magnetic strip kind of being placed on your door, your body panel, and removed kind of, over and over again, do you think that would at some point leave a mark or a scratch or a ding on your body panel? It seems like it would, but again, that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm missing out on something. It seems like definitely, having kind of the snowboards and the skis kind of placed on top of the vehicle is a big thing that I would prefer. And then kind of not to promote General Motors or GM, but they have on that kind of new truck that they have with the tailgate that, I have a good buddy who's a patent attorney as well. He said that it's great for kind of putting on your skis before you're removing your skis, being able to kind of sit on your tailgate. And it's like this other kind of flap that comes down to allow you to kind of put on your skis and remove your skis. So I'm not sure if that can be used as a device to kind of help out so that you don't have to lean up the skis and the snowboards across or on the actual body of the vehicle. But again, these are just some of my initial thoughts. It'll be interesting to see what the Sharks think about this. And let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section as we get back to it and see what the Sharks say. Let's go.
Sharks, you should have a sample of both the sun strip and the snow strip in front of you. Please take a look.
So is this magnetic? How does this adhere? And then is there also, if I peel this off, there's sticky backing?
So we have a magnetic one and an adhesive one. Our magnetic one is great for 90% of cars because they're magnetic. We also have an adhesive one because 10% of cars are aluminum.
Really very clever. I mean, it's just the simplest little thing, but it's a pain point. What made you think of this?
Yeah, so that exact thing actually happened to us in 2019. We were skiing in Colorado, and later that year, we were sitting at a bar, and I was talking to Steven about this idea I had for some kind of like a bumper sticker or something that could solve this problem. I ended up drawing it on the back of her seat at that bar, still have it with me.
Nice.
And then we ended up launching with the adhesive version, got immediate feedback from our customers that they wanted a magnetic version. So listening to them, really took off from there. And then a couple of years later, we heard more feedback saying, hey, you should make one for rods. So we've just been listening to our customers really and growing ever since.
Yeah, so I'm both a skier and a fisherman, and I see
You
the
are?
need for this. Yeah, absolutely. I do both and have the same problem every time. And you're laying up against the side, they fall. Sometimes you get rods broken. They're not cheap. And so I definitely see the need. Who else is doing this?
So on the snow strip side, we really don't have any direct competitors. On the sun strip for the rods, we do see a couple competitors on Amazon, but we're really the main name brand in the space. So to date, we've sold over 60,000 units.
Wow.
So what do they cost to make, and what are you selling them for?
So landed, the snow strip is $8.50 and the sun strip is $7. We also handle shipping for our customers, which is around $8.50. We sell them for $50.
So give us the whole breakdown on total sales, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so we've done $3 million in sales.
Woo.
Hello.
Wow.
Not bad
Okay.
for a bar idea, huh?
Pretty good bar idea, Mark.
How many years?
Over what period of
Since
time?
2020, and then more than half of that was actually last year. So we have that exponential
Yeah.
growth.
What about this year? What are you going to do?
We're planning on doing 2.7 million this year.
Crazy.
You're just doing paid social?
The only thing we've done to date is meta ads. And so one of the reasons we think we can really hit that $2.7 million goal this year is by expanding our marketing into other D2C marketing
So
opportunities.
do you know your customer acquisition costs?
It's $10. Something that's important to note is 62% of our sales happen in November and December. It's a huge
Really?
stocking stuffer.
So
People
it's
love
the
it.
gift idea.
It's a big gift idea.
Has it changed your life yet? Have you made any money?
Yeah, so from a profit perspective, our EBITDA last year was $450,000.
That's damn good.
Whoa.
Wow.
Is it protected? Do you have patent on these?
So we do have design patents on both the sun strip and the snow strip, as well as the trademarks. We really think that our main barrier right now is just our brand name and recognition.
Look, I see it more as a product than a company, right? And plus, I'm not the outdoorsy type, so it's not a fit for me. So for those reasons, I'm out.
Thanks, Mark.
All good. Thanks, Mark.
Appreciate it.
The 300K scares me away. I mean, your valuation at 4.6, a little rich. 300 is a chunk of change. It takes me a while to make 300, and I cry like a baby when I lose it. But I'm not saying I would with you. It's too much effort to squeeze you like teenage pimples to get what I want.
Ew.
So I'm gonna pass. I'm out.
So what are you looking for in a shark, and what are you going to do with the $300,000?
Honestly, what we really are looking for from a shark is helping us with our marketing strategies. We want to focus on other direct online routes as well. The $300,000 is going mostly to inventory. but we're going to need to make even more product to hit that $2.7 million figure later this year that we're trying to hit. That also gives us about $50,000 to play around with those other marketing channels.
Well, look, I'm a user of a product like this. I do see the demand here. And the marketing end, I'm good at. And I got a whole team behind me that does it, right? So I started off, the first way I marketed Raising Cane's, first location was making copies of Kinko's and put it on everybody's windshield. Those cost me about ½ cent a piece, right? Get them out there. And so I don't like spending big dollars on media. We're really good at it. And at Cane's, I have a whole team behind me that can do this. So you want $300,000 or 7.5% of the company. I think you're doing great. I love that $450,000 of EBITDA last year, but I think your valuation is a little high. So what I'll do is I'll offer you $300,000 for 20% of the company.
Boom.
Look at it, and before, I think that's probably a good offer. I like what Mark was saying in terms of more of a business. It's probably more of a product than a business. But again, they can expand their product line and maybe kind of make it more of a business at that point. And one of these big outdoor companies come buy them up. But I do want to kind of hit on a point that he said, a design patent. And a lot of times a design patent, not only is it going to be a lot less expensive than a utility patent, but it just makes more sense to get compared to a utility patent. And again, I think this is one of those cases, number one, because I think it would have probably been a little bit difficult to try to get a utility patent on this product, just kind of based on the structure of it. But I do think just from a design standpoint, it's a different design, especially when you're talking about being able to hold rods and boards and things like that. And I think it's, that the design of it is probably a little bit more important than the actual, I guess, utility of it. So I do think that this is one of those scenarios where the design patent makes more sense than the utility. Thankfully, the design patent is cheaper than the utility patent. Again, it lasts 15 years as opposed to the 20 years. But when he was saying something about the brand recognition, and I think that brand recognition is important because he talked about the trademarks. I'm sure they have a trademark. I think they do have a trademark on Rigstrips, but you can do with something that's called a trade dress. Now I talked to what was her? I think her name was Jennifer. Was it Jennifer? This was maybe a year or so ago on a podcast doing an interview, and so go check that one out. But she invented Swiggies, which is like a wrist water bottle, and she talked about how she had a patent on a design patent, I think, but she also had a trade dress protection on it. And a part of it having trade dress protection, being able to get trade dress protection on it, is because she was doing these morning appearances on morning TV shows, on different kind of shows that are watched nationally, which kind of helps bolster her claim from a kind of brand awareness or brand recognition, a distinctive people, the public know about, I guess, my product and whatnot, is distinctive within a public size. And that's a part of what you need to show from a distinctiveness standpoint as far as trade dress. But the other good thing about having trade dress protection on something is it lasts forever. So as opposed to a design patent or a utility patent, which lasts a finite time, trade dress, much like trademark, which is a subset of trademark, lasts forever as long as you're using it. So to the extent that from a brand recognition standpoint, if he can get this Rigstrips and going on Shark Tank, where this is a nationally syndicated show watched by millions of people, going on Shark Tank, going on other platforms, media platforms, news platforms that are kind of well watched, that will kind of bolster his claim for this trade dress protection that I would ultimately or absolutely recommend him to try to get, or recommend this duo to get. And if you get trade dress protection on your product, it lasts forever, which gives you even more protection than compared to a design patent. Now, a design patent and trade dress is very similar, but trade dress is a little harder to get because it lasts forever. As long as you're using it, it lasts forever, as opposed to with the design patent, it lasts for a finite amount of time. So again, I did want to point that out because him talking about this whole kind of marketing and brand awareness, brand recognition, that's going to be important if he's trying to get the trade dress protection, which I absolutely recommend him to get or try to get at some point, because it can kind of take your business to the next level and give you something that's even more valuable because it is protectable kind of forever as long as you're using it. And I think, at that point, it becomes a game changer. So let me know if you understood that and if that made sense. Definitely go check out the Swiggy's interview with Jennifer. I think her name is Jennifer. It's been a year and I've kind of done a ton of these interviews. But I know it's a Swiggy's water bottle. We get into it in a little bit more detail there. And to the extent that my explanation that I just gave maybe didn't make as much sense, it would definitely help out, or if that interview will supplement what I just said. So let's get back to the pitch and see what the Sharks say. Let's go. He has one offer.
Well, that's an offer. It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Let's
no.
get that excitement up, boys.
We are very excited for that offer. Let's be clear. We're very excited about it. It definitely is a little bit high for what we were looking to do.
Counter.
I think he gave the right offer. I do. $300,000 for 7.5%. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't excite me enough. So I wish you good luck, but for this one, I'm sorry, I'm out.
All good. Thanks, Larry.
And just to go back to your offer, again, thanks so much for it. The I think it was 1.5 valuation does seem a little bit low for us. We came in with a $4 million valuation, wondering if we can go to $300,000 for 10% of the company, which would be at a $3 million valuation.
How about $300,000 for 15%?
Yeah.
Would you meet us somewhere in the middle between there, just so we can shake your hand right now and have a great time running this company
As
together?
opposed to what? Shaking it later after you agree to 15%?
He gave you a good offer.
I'll take 300 for 15.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
let's take it.
gotta do it.
Good job.
Wow.
Awesome, guys. This is
So
great,
excited.
man.
Thank you so much.
Man, I believe in y'all. I believe in y'all.
Yeah.
I love the product. And I love
Thank you so
I love
much.
your users and the whole.
Man, Todd, hey, he has definitely, you could tell he's from the South, man. He has that Southern accent. Let's check out their website here. I do think the product is interesting. And obviously I'm rooting for these guys. I'll try to get them on a podcast here, kind of go through their journey. Shark Tank special, obviously. Now, Rigstrips, it is a trademark term. So it is a registered trademark term. So they don't have it, but I would definitely love to see the R in a circle at the end of it, of Rigstrips, since it is a trademark term. Again, I love the fact that they have a design patent on it to the extent that it's patented, which we know it is. I typically like to see those design patents listed at the bottom of the website. Just lets people on notice, puts people on notice that, hey, I do have a protection on this thing, patent protection on this thing. And to the extent that you infringe on it, then you will have, you'll have to deal with it. So sometimes they put it on other tabs. I guess I'm not seeing it on other tabs. The reason I pause here is because, again, I talked about with the trade dress, being able to get trade dress protection, just kind of going on these different press runs. And obviously Shark Tank is going to help out. Seems like they've been on CNN, which obviously we know CNN is pretty big, and seems like maybe a little bit more of Gear Junkie, some emergency gear magazine, a magazine, as well as maybe some other wildlife or outside magazines. So, I mean, again, I do think they are kind of putting themselves out there to get that brand recognition, to be able to get trade dress protection on this thing. Again, I would like the fact for them to have the actual, as we go kind of back to the home page, to have at the bottom of the web page the actual design patent. Just list it. So again, puts others on notice. Again, it seems like they've been on like I said, outside a journal, CNN, which obviously we know is big. Seems like they're maybe in Colorado. So the Denver Business Journal, and obviously Shark Tank here. So I mean, I like what they're doing so far. I think this is something that this can be something. I'm not sure if, at least at the current stage, if it's going to kind of really kind of be like a rocket ship and kind of go to outer space. But I do think they're making money. I think what he said, they made $4 million. So I think they're going to continue to make more money, and who knows, they can probably come up with more and more products down the line, which kind of bolster their sales and bolster the valuation of the company. I think this was interesting because, as one of the guys put it, this started out as, okay, which a lot of times it happens, right? You have a problem that you're trying to solve for, and you solve for the problem, or you come up with something, and you're like, okay, others obviously are having the same problem, which Todd, one of the sharks, talked about, and you kind of to bring a product to market to not only solve your problem, but for other people to purchase and solve their problem too. I think it's a big thing. It's a big deal. And I think it's a genius thing that I think not enough of us get credit for. Not enough people gets credit for kind of having this idea in the head and kind of bringing it to market to the point where other people are purchasing it. Kudos to the fact that this literally, he's talking about there at a bar from something that kind of was created on a napkin at a bar, which a lot of times it happens, to something that was patented and then kind of turned into an actual product. And now they're on Shark Tank, man. You're talking about the American dream. The American dream is alive and well. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of it. I think it's a simple product. It seems like it's effective based on the sales. And again, it apparently is a market for it. Again, I think it's a seasonal market. You heard one of the sharks talk. I mean, one of the owners talked about 62% of their sales happen between November and December, whether it's because it's cold season or you have Thanksgiving, Christmas time, Black Friday. So I would imagine that that's a big part of it. I would be interested on whether or not, because again, you know, we have US here, but I can see this product being kind of big in other countries where maybe snowboarding is just as important. Obviously, you have the Olympics, the Winter Olympics. So if, to the extent that it is popular in other countries, are they going to protect their product, the patent, the design in other countries? Because you can't do that, and you need to do that to the extent that you're looking to sell in other countries. Again, just getting the U.S. design patent protects your product only in the U.S. Are they selling it abroad? And if so, they probably need to get the product protected abroad as well. So let me know if you guys use one of these things in the comment section. What do you think about it? Does it solve that problem that you needed to solve to kind of avoid breaking the sticks, avoid scratching a vehicle? Again, obviously, this is something that, I don't know, as I'm kind of talking this thing out, maybe I would prefer this thing as opposed to kind of these racks on the top of my car. I guess I'm not a big fan of the racks from the aesthetic standpoint with the vehicle. So maybe this thing solves for it a little better. Solve for it a little better. I'm not even sure if you're putting, I guess, snowboards and stuff on. Man, maybe you are. I'm not sure. I'm not a big snowboard and ski guy, at least at this point in time. But again, love what they're doing. Please hit a like button if you like this type of content or you enjoyed this video, as well as the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. Again, just kind of taking you through these Shark Tank pitches from my unique lens, from being an intellectual property attorney, doing this for 10 years, and kind of trying to cover all facets of intellectual property. They have the trademarks, they have the design patents. I would love for them to get trade dress protection on this thing as well. So again, hopefully I can get them on a podcast. I will reach out to them, kind of talk through their journey and kind of seeing what are the plans and how has life been after the Shark Tank appearance. So I would imagine that their sales have went through the roof. So especially around, it's about to be November. So we're hitting, it's from a timing perspective, this was a hot time for them going into their busy season. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I will see you guys next week on the next pitch. Guys, take care. Peace.